Hey everyone, this is your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course, Corinne Lafont, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know, I always start my show off being grateful or thankful, as some people may say. I am so thankful to be here. Do you know I woke up? I don't know, but I know I felt I have a good idea time. I think it was around 4 a.m. this morning. I probably only got about 2 to 3 hours sleep, and I woke up fresh, really fresh. And I was just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. I woke up saying thank you. And I lay in my bed, for probably about another 2 hours awake and just saying thank you and just visualizing just my life and all the good things that has been happening. And when I say good things, I mean just anything, because everything is for your greater good. So that's how I look at it. Everything is for your greater good, and just accepting. I did some acceptance of some things early this morning. And I'm like, God, you're so merciful. Some people may not say God, some people may say source, universe, spirit, whatever you want to call him, her, it doesn't matter to me. There is a higher being that is coordinating and managing all of this that we're in. Yeah. So I am so thankful to be here. It's a beautiful day in Trinidad and Tobago. It's a holiday. It's Easter Monday. So for those who celebrate the Easter, yes, happy Easter to you. Take the time to reflect. I think probably that's why, now that I'm thinking and talking about it, that's why I probably woke up. I don't know. Maybe just saying thanks. And I didn't even realize this. Oh my, I'm so thankful. I have a beautiful little doll here with me. Yes, she's like a little doll. I'm telling you, you could just package her. Her name is Anite Washington. And she told me she's from Washington, D.C. She stole the location name. Or did the location steal her name? I don't know. So Anite Washington. What is going on here today on this Easter Monday? Yeah. Right?
Thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah. And let me do a quick intro for us to get into this thing. We are talking about leaving the past behind. Leaving the past behind. I'll say it again. Leave the damn past behind. But that was different from the first two. but
meaningful.
But meaningful. So you get the point. So let me tell you about Anite Washington. She has an M.Ed, which is a Master's in Education, an MBA. She's the host of her TV show, That Anite Live, and the Emotional Happiness Podcast, which provides a platform for women to learn, laugh. You hear her laughing a while ago. And more importantly, heal emotionally by learning from the challenges and successes of others. Anita's latest book, and we'll see that a little bit later, is titled Family is Not Everything. I wanted to name the show that. Family is Not Everything, but we're going to talk about that. It shows women how to beat emotional baggage using the affirmations, activities, and techniques in the 7-step method. And we're going to hear a couple of those steps because I don't want to share all 7 steps. You have to buy the book. That is what it is about. Okay? So welcome, Anite, to Between the Lines.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you here. Now, let me see something here now. I mentioned something that triggered me, and I said I wanted to ask about it. What was it that I wanted to ask you? I can't remember, but there was something that we said that I said I wanted to ask you about. But anyway, we're talking about leaving the past behind. And family is not everything. I want you to share your story as best as you can so that we can understand why we need to leave the past behind. Oh, I just remembered what it is. I saw somebody shared a post, an image on WhatsApp with me. And it so resonates with what we're talking about, I believe. It says the past is for reference. It's not a place of residence. Let me say that again. The past is for reference. It's not a place of residence. In other words, don't live there. Don't, don't carry your bag and pack up on your stove and fridge and take up residence
Right.
and feel you need to live there. It's just a place for reference. Now, I'll tell you something, Anita, before you get into what I asked. There are people who I talk to, and I find it, you have to be very aware and conscious when you're talking to people. That every time you're talking to them, they keep bringing up the past, bringing up the past, bringing up the past, bringing up the past. It's like they more than live there. They set up shop, business, everything there, and that they cannot move. They're not even recognizing we're in 2019 and almost finished 2019. Can you imagine that? They're not even in 2019, in this present moment. They're still in the 40s, 50s. And I'm like, can't you just let it go? They keep going back. They keep going back and wondering why. Why so and so? Oh, Jesus, let it go. Let it go. And when you try to tell them, let it go, you don't know. I don't care. I really don't want to talk about that. We're here now. Let's look at the solution now. Let's look at what's happening now, right in this moment, going forward. They cannot let it go. They still, I don't know.
That wound that they have is still bleeding. It's still an open wound, and so they heal it.
But they're not, and they're trying to pull you into this black hole. I see it like a black hole. So it's like, misery loves company. I'm not staying in the past by myself. I am going to yank you with me. And when you don't want to go there with them, they get upset.
Quickly. Yeah.
Yes. And my spirit is telling me no. Is it because I have let go and they have realized I have a sort of freedom and they're still holding on, and it upsets them that I have let go, that I can be free of this thing and they're still there? Why must you be upset because I'm free? You could make the choice to be free too, but you choose to take up residence in the past. Anita, help us out.
Yes, like I said, because that wound is still open. They haven't decided that, despite the fact, and I talk about this in the book, despite the fact of who did something to you or what happened, it is your individual decision. It is your responsibility to heal yourself so that you do not pass that pain forward to the next generation.
But this is the thing. We keep passing it on. You said a very valid point. The generational, people will call it generational curse, generational whatever. It just keeps going on. And you would look back, and if you really sit down and look back, you realize, oh, I notice a trend here. I notice a trend here. This needs to stop. And if one of us tries to break away, no, they pull you back.
They try their best. Yep.
Yes, to pull you back. And if you pull away, you're seen as deviant. You're not keeping with whatever. But why should I?
You have forgotten where you come from.
Yes.
You're turning your back on us.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. All of that. And that is to make you feel guilty, shameful, like you're doing something wrong. They work on you, They work on you. And who are the day we're talking about? Family.
Yes.
Family. And just like you said, family is not everything. I want us to transition into that. Even your friends. So you even have to watch your friends to say, really, are you really my friend? You have to assess the relationships you have with people, because is it healthy? Is it healthy for you? I need to help.
It may not be healthy, may be very toxic. You mentioned the 7-step method, and one of the steps in that method is called dispose of distractions. And it's an exercise, because each chapter in the book has a affirmation activity and a technique for people to walk through, because not only do I share stories that people can relate to, but it's also the steps to help you heal. And in that step, dispose of distractions, I ask people to make a list of the people they spend the most time around. Go through their cell phones, go through their address books if they still have them. Keep a log, a journal per se, of the people that you spend time around, say over a 30-day period. And at the end of the day, beside each one of those names, write down the emotion that you feel when you're with that person.
Jeez.
Even if you're in a group, write down everybody's name and the emotion that that person makes you feel. And then at the end of that 30-day period, look at the list in totality. Look at all the names. From there, you have a decision to make. You either need to have some conversations, or you need to move some people from your inner circle to an outer circle.
I put them in the delete circle, Anita. I want to add that. Please add that in your book. I put them in the delete circle. Delete and block circle. I have learned that ad so well. People ask me what to do. I say, hold on, let me show you. And I get my phone and I'm like, looky here. Delete and block. I don't need a 30 days. Me, I don't need a 30 days.
But that's because you worked through it and gotten to a place where you recognize it.
Yes.
You're self-aware and you can implement ASAP. Whereas some other people, they need more time. They've never looked at it this way.
To do what? Time to do what? To take in more toxicity?
They need more time to become self-aware and to get to the maturity level that you have in the emotional health realm. A lot of people don't realize how much other people negatively impact their day and their time.
Jeez.
They don't realize it.
I don't waste time. I would give you a little time, like a few days, because I don't want to just delete and block you, but I sense it from the beginning. And I said, let me not be let's use the word judgmental, even though I'm not really judgmental. Let me not just jump to conclusion. Yes, that's a better phrase. And I would give you a 2 days, 3 days. And when I see consistently, and if, as you mentioned, how I feel, that is the important thing, Anita. How I feel when I talk to you, the things you say to me, and I'm not saying back those negative things to you, whether jokingly or otherwise.
Right.
How I feel, and I say, my spirit is saying, I may lose sleep in the night because my mind is having the monkey chatter over all the things, the conversation. I'm like, why am I losing sleep over this?
Because you are the guardian and the protector of your space.
Exactly.
You treasure your space and time.
Yeah.
But some others may need some assistance in getting to that place.
I could help them take their phone and delete and block. I could do that. I could do it. Yeah, but that's my circle. So when you're saying, shift them to the outer circle or I'm not having a conversation. I give you enough time. It's how I feel. And like you said, I'm the guardian of
what if they don't recognize that they're doing that to you?
No, but I would be saying that during the times that I give you the few days or whatever. I would be communicating because I'm a communicator. I would say, why did you say that? Why are you so argumentative? Why are you, really, why did you say that? So I am giving you feedback. I'm not just going to cut you off. I am going to tell you that did not sound good. That did not feel good. Why did you, I'm not going to just cut you off. But after a while, when I notice, I'm just like, this is enough. I've given you enough time. Delete and block. Move it along. Yeah. And you see, what came to me, Anita? We have to value things. You see, when it comes to a car or land or house, we value that probably because we spend a lot of money in it. It's an investment. Our website, our business, we spend a lot of money in it. It's an investment. Our phone is also something that we invest in because we use it for business. We use it to communicate. It's that tool for connection. That is what bridges the gap. Now, I see my phone as real estate. Just as how I see land and car and everything as real estate. So look here. If you are in my phone and you are toxic, you are taking up significant real estate.
because the same way that we value homes and cars and our phone, we need to learn to value ourselves.
Yes. So I see that as real estate and I'm real estate. So I have to be careful what I put on the land, what I have, in that real estate space. Now, somebody may be listening to me, and I've said this on my other shows. What if somebody do it to me? No problem. If you think that I am not of value to you, yes, no, people may think that I may feel rejected or people don't want me. I don't have a problem with that. I don't. If you feel that I am not adding value to your life, or I may be toxic, or you feel negative, I'm not giving it out. I may not be aware, but you sense that for me, and you feel you need to be away from me. No problem. Delete and block me. One less person to talk to. That's how I see it.
All right.
No, because it has to be reciprocal. It has to be reciprocal, yes. Anita. Mm-hmm. I can't be just sitting here talking to you and say, I'm going to delete and block people, and somebody listening to this episode thinks I'm all above everybody else. No. If you feel that you need to cut me out of your space, feel free. Feel free. I'm not high and mighty like that. Do it. If this is what will help you to feel better about yourself, to get further ahead, do that. But just saying family is not everything, because we know, Anita, family is the one that hurts you the most. Why? Yeah. Because they're blood. Because you grow with them. You're connected only by blood, right? And I stress that, only by blood.
Right.
But I want you to explain why you said family is not everything.
I particularly chose this title, family is not everything, because I want people to be mindful. Just like you said, at large, individuals are not showing us that they're valuing themselves. We're not valuing ourselves. And when you convince somebody, Easter, Mother's Day, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, holidays, when people try and say, oh, no, you have to be with family. Oh, no, you have to go see this person, or you have to go see your mom or your dad or siblings. You don't know what situation you're sending them back into. Toxic. It could even be physical abuse.
Oh, Lord.
Emotional abuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you trying to convince that person to go back into an environment that you have no idea of. Because family is the inner circle that gets the first crack at you, and they have the closest access to you.
Oh, yes.
Now, in my particular situation, my family was very traumatic and very dysfunctional.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's saying that my father was a homicidal alcoholic.
Oh, jeez.
Right. And my brother was abusive.
Oh, wow.
Both emotionally and physically.
I'm soaking in that. Anita. Homicidal, what was the term?
Homicidal alcoholic.
And your brother was emotionally and physically abusive. How did you manage? Is he older than you, younger than you? Your brother?
Very much older than me. He's 10 years older.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, I know that's a sensitive issue, but I'm going to push it here. Can you share what do you mean? What was some of the signs? What was some of the things that you went through? Because I like my guests to be able to, not my guests, my listeners, sorry. Because people are going through these things,
Yes.
People are going through these things, Anita, and they're keeping quiet. Why? Because the same family is keeping you dormant. They're stifling you because don't make it look bad on the family.
Why you suffer.
Yes. Don't embarrass us. Don't put our name out there. I don't care. I don't care. Right?
When I say homicidal alcoholic, my father was an alcoholic. And then with that, he tried to set the house on fire 3 times while we were in the house.
That sounds like a movie. I am sure I saw that in a movie somewhere. I'm like, what? What? Anita, I'm just going to sit down here and listen to you. Go ahead. Explain, please.
And with my brother, the abuse would be from, I could be as a teenager on the phone. And one of the stories that I talk about in the book, and where just out of nowhere, he came from another room watching television into the kitchen where I was sitting, snatched the phone out of my hand and hung it up. For, I say, no reason, because I asked, are you waiting for a phone call? Because back then we did not have call waiting.
Yeah.
No. Do you need to use the phone? Yeah. No. You just don't need to be on it. That's not your decision.
Yeah. But at the time,
Mm-hmm.
You were young. You're older now, so you're a little bit wise and you realize. But at that point, you're younger than he is. So there are
Yes.
a lot of dynamics. He's your older brother by what, 10 years or something, you said.
Uh-huh.
So you're looking up to this person. He's above you in age, above you in terms of
Size and
chronology.
stature.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
And um, what were you thinking at that point in time? How were you feeling at that point in time?
For me, I wouldn't say that I ever looked up to him as far as a role model or somebody that I admired,
Right.
because that disrespectful behavior played out in a number of ways ever since I was a small child.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it play out against women that he dated. I saw it play out against our mother. I
Wow.
saw it play out against other people that were in the neighborhood or respected teachers that were in the
Mm-hmm.
school. So I had to be in the same house at the same time because I was a minor and we lived with our parents.
Yeah.
But what it stoked in me was the idea that I can't wait until I get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all that's in your mind. I could tell you that. You just want to get out. You just want to get out.
I graduate from high school, I'm gone.
Yeah. 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 And you see in situations like that, you run to anything because you think anything is better than this. Anything is better than this because that's all on your mind.
Then we make the mistake of thinking that because we are physically out of the situation,
Mm-hmm.
that what we suffered emotionally
Mm-hmm.
heals just like the physical wounds do, and they don't.
No, you go
Because
with
there
it.
are triggers that you carry with you that
Yeah.
will cause you to have reactions until, like I said, you become self-aware.
Yeah.
And you learn to I like to use the word disempower. You learn to disempower those triggers.
Yeah. And the thing is, you can't run from yourself. Your
Yeah.
body goes with you wherever you go. Just like Eckhart Tolle says, wherever you go, there you are. You can't. I would love to see somebody run from themselves. You can't. Because as you said, you physically run out of the situation. You're gone. You're out of the physical environment. But
Yes.
you can't sleep. You can't eat. The memories and the replays that, broken record, things happen that is like, as you said, trigger you. So you feel you're back into the same things. It's like you never left.
Mm-hmm.
How did you deal with that? Come, Anita, come, tell us what happened. I'm quite interested in knowing. And what did your parents do? I mean, well, we can't look to the father. Your mother, what did she do?
My mother was neglectful. And for some reason, with her belief, she protected her sons. And
Oh my goodness.
whatever her son said
Yeah.
was how things were to be. She would say things like, well, that's just how he is.
Yeah.
Or, well, it's over now, so just let it go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not addressing the pattern, not addressing the trend, not addressing the fact that he continued this behavior over and over and over again. And it didn't just happen.
It's how many of you, Anita? How many kids?
I actually have 4 brothers,
Mm.
but in the book, I condensed it down to 1 so that each brother could remain anonymous.
Yes. Okay. So you're the only girl?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The youngest and the only girl.
Oh, wow. Jeez. There's a lot of things playing in that in my mind. I wouldn't even say it, but there's a lot of things playing in my mind. You wonder, I'm going to share one of the things. You wonder, life has a way of playing out in particular ways. For you to be the youngest and the only girl, 4 brothers with abuse and toxicity, why were you placed in that position? Why were you placed in that position? And somebody that I talked to the other day said to me, your life, because we were already here before we were physically here. And everything was already planned out before we became a physical form. And it's like you had to be in that position, that placement in the siblings. You had to be the girl. And you might say, why me? But you turn things around like Les Brown says and other people, why not me? you know. And it's not that I'm saying that I want you to suffer or I want anybody to suffer. I don't want that. Because I am going through and I've been through that kind of situation. And you may say, God, why did I have to go through this? But there are lessons for you to be who you are today. And I'm going to come after you share, because you're a beautiful, intelligent woman and you're still standing and you're sharing your story for others to learn, because there are people going through this. So I'm like, you survived this. You survived this. And you are talking about leaving the past behind when you should be making friends and marrying the past. But you're talking, and somebody else could have been so married to the past that they're not letting go. Given what you are sharing, they couldn't let go of the past. For you to be in 2019 talking about your life, trying to help other people, giving them steps to heal, to overcome, to let go, and talking about leaving the past behind. Come on, Anita, you need to tell us what's going on. You need to tell me how you got out of that. What happened? Your 4 brothers, your mother neglectful, your father in his own little circle by himself. Tell us, you were what, teenage then? How did you come out of that, and how did you become the person that you are today?
Well, it happened all throughout my life as long as they had access to me. It didn't stop just in my childhood. Because for as long as I continued to be around them, even if I just visited for holidays or family reunions, there was something that occurred while I was there. And then the last time that something happened, just a couple of years ago, at that point, being an adult, I said to myself, Anita, this is now your fault.
Yeah.
Because you keep coming back looking for a different result.
Yeah. Why? Why are you hoping that they change? Because that is something I discussed with a number of my friends. It's like you know who they are.
Yes.
You know the toxicity, and you're still hoping. You're like, no, it's been years. I've grown. I'm dealing with things. So you're like expecting the same. Why do we do that, Anita?
Yes.
Tell me. I want an answer. Tell me.
Hope. Because our society, whether it's all of the infrastructures in our lives, give us hope as a foundation. Church is hope. Education is hope. Even in our healthcare system, when you go to the doctor, you're doing what? You're hoping everything turns out all right. You're praying everything turns out all right.
Yeah.
You're studying now for the hope of a better future. So all of those infrastructures give us hope. And we bleed that over into every other area of our life. So when we are in a dysfunctional, toxic family, we hope that as we all get older, we mature. We don't just get older chronologically, but we pray that we also mature emotionally, psychologically.
Yes.
It doesn't happen for everybody.
Why? Anita, why?
Because people make the assumption that they are not to be lifelong learners. They assume that because they have reached 18, that they are an adult. They know everything there is to know. They are who they are. And if from 0 to 18, everybody was just told to deal with it, that is who that person is going to be.
They've made a decision that they're not lifelong learners. What? Anita, hold on. I need to process that.
Okay.
They've made a decision that they're not lifelong learners.
Think about that. You know them. You've made the decision that you're going to continually to grow and evolve as you get older. I've made the decision that I'm going to continually grow and evolve as I get older.
But it wasn't like I sat down and said, I woke up this morning and said, I'm going to be a lifelong learner. It just happens to me naturally.
Right.
And because I guess I made a decision. Now that I'm thinking about it.
At some point, you made
I'm
a
like,
decision.
I want to grow.
Right.
I want to be better. I'm aware of myself. I'm
Yes.
listening to people giving me feedback. I'm watching the interactions I'm having with people. I'm conscious and aware. I think these people are dead. They are walking dead. I say it all the time, Anita. They are walking dead. I am seeing people around and I'm like, my God, you know them for 10, 15, 20 years. And they're in the same damn place.
Yes.
That you, God, they're dead. They just have a form on this earth, but they're dead. Dead emotionally, dead spiritually, more than anything else. Just dead. And it amazes me how people can just be like that. And you know the funny thing about it, Anita? They think something is wrong with you.
Yes, they do.
They try to make you out to be crazy. You're the one. They are fine. They know everything. You are crazy.
Yes, they think that.
And if you're not careful, you might even believe them. If you're not careful, you slide into this dark hole, like I'm telling you, and join them there.
You can.
So when you realize that you were triggered and you started to say, hell no, it's your fault. And it's true, it is your fault because you kept going back. And why you feel you had to go back, Anita? Because it's family.
Right.
Yes.
Ergo, the name of the book, Family is Not Everything. If family is toxic and dysfunctional and abusive, at some point, there has to be a decision made.
So how you made that decision? You at that date a few years ago, when they triggered you and you started to get the same feelings welling up inside of you and your inner being, your spirit is saying, oh Jesus, why do you keep bringing me back here? Why are you putting me through this? You said no, enough is enough.
Yes.
And you cut off your family. Is that what you did?
Yes. I said no, enough is enough. I tried to have the conversation with my mother, but I was
Lord. I know where that headed.
Yes, I was met with the same rejection. That's just how he is. I said, it doesn't matter. He does not have the right to hit me.
Yeah.
He does not have the right to violate me or disrespect me in that manner. Well, it's over now. So I said, you know what? I am not going to subject myself to this anymore. You can continue to live in the land of make-believe.
Yeah.
But I am not going to accept this behavior anymore. And I can discontinue the behavior because I can discontinue their access to me.
Exactly. Yeah. You are not obligated to connect with family or to keep going into that toxic situations. You're not obligated. And you know the thing about it, people feel, oh, how could you do that? This is your mother. This is your brother. And family is everything. And if anything happens, who do you think is going to be there for you? Really? It have other people. There are other people.
But there is no guarantee.
Yeah.
There is no guarantee. I am not a spring chicken, but
you look like a spring chicken. So.
I've lived long enough to have been through a thing or two in my life, and I can say that when I did go through them, family was not there.
Jeez.
So that's what people tell themselves to remain in their comfort zone.
Yes. The ego tells you
living in absolute truth.
The ego tells you that because it wants you to remain comfortable. It wants you to stay there. But you have to follow that emotion, that spirit, that connection that is telling you, that guiding chip that God puts in you to tell you, this does not feel right. And you need to get it. And it doesn't matter who, because I had to make a decision the other day with a relative, very close relative. And I realized the sort of disrespect that was meted out to me. You know, the ignoring, the chat back, all the different things, everything. Yeah. And I said, Corinne, if this was anybody else and it wasn't a blood relative, would you still have that person in your space? No. So the only thing that's really keeping you there, or you feel that you should be there, is because this is a family, relative.
Mm-hmm.
If I remove that emotional connection of family from the equation, just pick out that, then that person becomes a stranger to me. And I would not allow a stranger to do me that, or a friend or anybody else on the outside of family. So, honey, I just quickly remove that from the equation
Mm-hmm.
and I delete the person out of my life. I block them on WhatsApp and I have absolutely nothing to do with the person. And you wouldn't believe, off air, I will tell you who it is. Off air, I will tell you who it is. Right? And it's difficult. It is a difficult thing because if I were to tell somebody who it is, they would say, Corinne, that's hard. But let me tell you, I love me.
Yeah.
I love me and I come first. And I am not going to continue to give you the permission
Mm-hmm.
to abuse me and do as you wish to me for your satisfaction. I'm not. Because we do give people the permission to treat us
Yes.
the way we are treated. There's nobody else to blame.
Mm-hmm.
You can't blame anybody else. You, because just like you said, you recognize you were given the permission. You kept going to the family events. You kept because you felt obligated and how would it look and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you recognize, no, the feelings that you're getting, no, you don't need to keep doing this. But I am sure you got a lot of flack for stepping away, no contact, moving away, not giving people access to you. I'm sure that you got a lot of flack. I want to hear about that and how you dealt with it.
I did get some flack from extended family,
Mm-hmm.
but that's because they had no idea of what the truth was.
Yeah.
And how bad the incidents had actually gotten.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, they had no idea that it was still going on.
Damn.
Everybody likes to think that, oh, that's just sibling rivalry, or oh, that's just how families are. No.
No.
Emotional and physical abuse are two very serious issues. This is not just, I don't like it that you got the bigger piece of the chicken when we were little.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not what that is.
Yeah.
So once I begin to dialogue, once I begin to actually express and tell them the stories, once the book was published, all of that flack stopped.
Oh, yeah. You took it to another level, Anita. You did not just cut them off. You did a book. Oh. It was like, you think you could do me something? I'm going to tell everybody about this.
And that's just it. It wasn't that they weren't even a part of the equation when I decided to write the book. That really came out of an incident that happened at one of my jobs. When I was working. And it was a fairly busy environment with fax machines going and phones ringing and so forth. And one of the young ladies in the office was kind of upset because now everybody in this office is grown, over 21.
Yeah.
This woman she had kids of her own, but she was upset saying that she felt like her father didn't love her anymore because he wasn't spending time with her. Now she's the oldest. He has younger kids. He works a full-time job. I'm like, what kind of time are you looking for from this man?
Yeah.
And she's whining and going on. And I said, look, you want to talk about a father not loving a child? My father tried to burn the house down 3 times with me in the house. And pass me that paper from off that fax machine because we got work to do. And I really said it, just kind of flip it like that. I didn't pay it any attention.
Yeah.
But Corinne, one by one, the people in that office, whether anywhere they could catch me where it was just the two of us, in the morning, just going into the building or in the elevator, in the ladies' room.
Yeah.
Out at lunch one day. They would all, one by one, tell me stories similar to mine that they could relate to.
Yeah.
And they were all kind of suffering in silence.
That is what is happening. You see,
hanging out with each other, everything was lovely.
Yeah.
And then right around, holiday time, oh no, the kids are here, so I'm just going to. There was always an excuse or something that somebody gave, and I began to notice, you know what? These people are not telling the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And somebody needs to put a stake in the ground to say,
yeah,
as an individual, you matter.
yeah.
But if you choose not to spend time around toxic and dysfunctional people, that is a choice that you have the responsibility and the right to make.
Yeah, yeah. And that comes within even your married relationships or relationships. If you're not married, you have, somebody else in your life. You really don't know how long you have to live. We are not barcoded when we are born to know, okay, we expire on so and so date, so we have 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. We don't know. There's no barcode. And because we are not born with a barcode, right? That we are aware of. Only God knows that we are aware of. Every moment, Anita, every moment is significant. Every moment. Let me tell you. And you can sense how passionate I am about this. Every moment is significant. Yes. And if you waste a moment with toxic people, you've lost that. You cannot regain time. You cannot run back and turn the clock and say, okay, you cannot. Don't matter how many shows you watch on TV with time machine going back and forth, it doesn't matter. You cannot. This is not Star Trek or one of those things. You can't regain it.
The worst part about it is people don't realize we're only as sick as our secrets. And what you accept, you pass on.
Oh, yes.
So when we look at our youth in the street uncontrollably, or the way that they respond to some of the travesties or the negative events that happened in their life, it's because they're carrying all of your pain already. So then once they go through something themselves and you think they're overreacting, no, they're reacting based on everything that you've passed to them and what they're going through.
What is coming to me, Anita, is that somebody may say, you were born into that situation just like all of us. You can't blame them. They were probably abused. This is what they became as a result of the environment that they were in. Don't blame them, kind of thing. This is who they become. This is who they are. There's that side of the argument. That doesn't mean to say that you have to stay in it, no.
Right, exactly.
Stay in it or accept it just because, as if that is an excuse for you to stay in it because that is who they are. Just like how your mother was saying about your brother, that's who he is. No.
That's who he is, fine, but I don't have to accept it.
No, you don't. You don't have to accept it. And that's why you need to break that chain. Yes. Now you have moved on. Do you have a family of your own, Anita?
No, I do not.
You're not married?
No.
Why do you think that is? That just came out my mouth. I'm sorry. That just came out. Why do you think that is, Anita?
Probably, it may have a little something to do with the fact that the first man in my life tried to kill me.
Oh my God.
Might have a little bit of something to do with that.
Just a little bit. Nothing much.
I have friends I enjoy, company, but when it comes down to thinking about it from a permanent standpoint, that's not something that I've ever been able to cross, and I don't think I'll ever be able to cross that.
Don't say that. Prayer works.
When I look at the things, even if I remove my experiences with my family out of it, when I look at some of the things that my peers are going through, one in their relationships, two with their relationships ending, and now with these serial relationships, people married 3, 4, and 5 times.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they made mistakes. They go through the first, they go through the second. They probably might catch it on the third. I don't know. I'm like, what?
Girl.
I don't know. Girl, I don't know. But, their situation may not be yours. You may be lucky. I may be lucky. We're in a similar situation here. We're being vulnerable here on this show. We're We're in the same situation, and I have the same kind of thoughts. But I am not. Let me tell you where I am on that. I am not, worried in a sense. Yes, you would want companionship. You want somebody, but what you see coming at you, and I think is a reflection of what we have been through. Um, it's kind of hard because your standards are so high. And I'm not saying it as an excuse, and I'm not saying it that you set the bar high to make it difficult for the men to come in. It is just that you've been through so much, or we have been through so much, that we cannot compromise. And I will tell you something as I say that. This morning, when I started the show, I talk about I woke up this morning, and let me tell you, an article started coming in my mind immediately about don't compromise. Those were the two words, don't compromise. Don't devalue yourself and what you believe in order to get what you want. It will come to you. I was having that conversation with God at probably 4 o'clock or whatever time I was up this morning. And he was saying to me, don't compromise, Corinne. Don't devalue. It's going to come to you. Just have faith and just believe. So, I think a lot of us who have the 1, 2, 3 marriages is because they did the DIY approach. They did not wait because we are programmed societally, family-wise at a certain age. You're supposed to have a car, a house, this and that. You're supposed to whatever. And so they end up choosing wrong because they choose. It wasn't a matter of divine timing and waiting. Some people say, oh, I'm getting older. My eggs are going to dry up. My sperms are going to die off. All these things, programming and society and whatever. Just wait. So I'm in the phase now of just doing me. Just doing me, Anita. Enjoying every damn moment, no matter what. And living in a life of joy and happiness. And there are times like with my business, we are entrepreneurs, I have things to do, but there are times I'm like, hell, I ain't doing nothing today. And I am just going to go out, I'm going to have fun, I'm going to, or just spend time in meditation because my spirit tells me I need to do that. Spend time on me, talking to me, just spending time in silence. Just do you, and the person in your life is going to come. Don't try to choose somebody. We choose wrong. We can't trust ourselves. We choose wrong. So this is where I'm at with this whole relationship thing. I'm talking to everybody.
And I wish you all well with that.
Thank you, Anita. I'll invite you to the wedding if when it happens.
Please do.
But I have to give hope. You did say hope. You did say we are right. There is hope.
If that is something that you really intrinsically and truly deep down inside desire,
yes,
then and God has told you He has that for you.
He has it.
Then by all means, be obedient.
I am being obedient. I am being obedient.
On my side of the fence. That's not something that he has
told you.
Okay. That's not something he has addressed with me, and it's not something that I've asked him about.
Well, you see, that's the thing.
So we good.
Ask him and have a conversation. Ask him. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
There's so many things on my list before that.
I know. Well, yeah. It's not a priority, but I'm just saying that if or when it happens, it's not through me. It's, I've let it go. And he said, Corinne, I'm working on the person. Just leave it. And I've seen how he has worked in my life where I just let things go. He knows my desires. He knows what's best for me. And I just leave it. So it's not a priority where I'm out there like, this is the number one thing on my list. And I have to, no. It's not about that. It's about enjoying myself, doing me, developing me, doing my business. There are things that I have to achieve. But if along that continuum, he plops somebody into my life and he's like, tap, tap, Corinne, look at this guy here,
Girl, good luck.
Yeah, if he says, if he says, but if I have to discern that, if he says, if I have to discern that to say if it is something God given or if it is something that I did, so I have to be careful, but I'm not focused on it. Honestly, I'm not. I smile and talk with everybody, but I'm not. But you're an intelligent, beautiful woman, you
Thank you
know,
very much.
beautiful woman. And I want the best for you. I want to see your life really blossom, really blossom,
Okay.
really blossom. I think, it is God's will for us to be in union with somebody. I know,
Mm.
listen good. I know.
Not
I'll put,
only that, there are a lot of women in my Bible that were not married that were used for wonderful things for God.
yes, well, honey, go for it. And if once it's for God, I'm pushing you into that. Whatever it is, God is your husband, God is your boyfriend, because he's my husband and boyfriend. Go for it. He's the best man out there. There's
There are a
nobody better.
lot of women in the
Yeah,
Bible that were not married.
yeah. And not everybody is meant to be married. I don't know if I am. I leave that to God. But this is just a diversion from what we're talking about. But it connects, and it's just amazing to me in a good way that from all what you have been through, that you're able to still stand here firm in who you are,
Yes.
not being influenced by what anybody else tells you, but firm in who you are and knowing who you are and moving forward with that. And that is strength right there. That is strength right there. That nobody could tell you otherwise. And I really am proud of you. I mean, and somebody listening to this may say, I can't cut off my family. I need them. I this, I that. No, and leaving the past behind, which is what this episode is about.
Mhm.
It requires you taking a few steps back and cutting off if needs be.
Mhm.
If needs be. Your 7-step method, I want you to share as I try to jump over to your website to showcase your book. Remind me of your website again. Let me see.
That's AnitaLive.com.
1 second for me. So while we're talking about that, can you share about 2 of those steps? You mentioned distraction as one.
Yes, I mentioned dispose of distractions, which is actually step number 3.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And step number 1 is called life mapping. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where a person would actually sit down and write down all of the memories. Doesn't have to be long form, just a sentence or two enough to jog the memory
Mm-hmm.
of what they remember from their history,
Mm-hmm.
not just their childhood, from their history,
Mm-hmm.
from birth up until now,
Mm-hmm.
however old they are.
Mm-hmm.
The second step is called track and trace. And in track and trace, that's journaling. And
Yeah.
they actually write down their now, how they spend their time, who they spend it with. There are a number of thought-provoking questions that are listed in the book to help people, because this isn't just what I did today.
Mm-hmm.
This is more so of the decisions that I made today. Why did I make these decisions? Because what the person then does is link the events in the life mapping activity to the journaling and the track and trace activity
Mm-hmm.
to begin to become more self-aware so they can unlock for themselves some of those triggers or some of those limiting beliefs that were created by the events that have happened in their life.
So you're taking people back.
Yes.
Even though we're saying leave the past behind, it comes back to what I was saying earlier. It's a place of reference and a place of residence, but you have to go back because that is where it all started in your childhood. Or even, as we say, epigenetically, even in the womb, you would realize that it happened in the womb or before, So you
Because
have,
a lot of the things that have had the biggest impact may have been very small snap
yeah.
incidents that happened
Mm-hmm.
that have created these limiting beliefs that are lasting for decades.
Jeez.
And you don't realize it until you go back and begin to constantly ask yourself why. Why did I make that decision? Why do I not like that color? Why do I not like this particular food?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And those are just some of the surface questions. They get a lot deeper than that.
I like how you say that, because you have to, it's great to ask why. Why am I feeling this way? Why did I say this to this particular person? Why am I feeling annoyed?
Yes.
Why don't I like to eat this fruit? I'm going to try eating this fruit today. You know, why? What it is that turns me off about it? Why I don't want to go into this event? Why I don't want to do hiking? Why I don't want... Yeah, it's like challenging yourself. It's like coming out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
And discovering, in doing it, discovering things about yourself probably was programmed into you not to like. And you have no idea why, you know, because as a child you can't remember.
Right. Could have been one little incident. For instance, there was one client that I had, and she, as a child, had a Girl Scout project to keep a particular plant alive for a certain amount of time. The plant died. So when she, as an adult, someone gave her a gift of a plant for a housewarming gift. And she says, oh no, I can't accept the plant because I'll just kill it. Now, when we begin to dig back through that and to see when was your first plant, what memories do you have that have plants in them? This is what it came back to, that one little project that she had as a child, and when she didn't keep a plant alive as a Girl Scout.
Wow.
So now, can you imagine if, as you're growing up, somebody constantly tells you that you're not pretty?
Oh, geez.
Well, somebody constantly tells you that, oh, no, you can't go play with them today. They don't want to be bothered with you. Oh, no, you can't go there today. They don't want to be bothered with you.
Yeah, yeah. And those are not make-up things you're just making up on the spot. It is actually said. Yes.
It is.
Wow. Little things that are programmed into your mind, and people wonder why they may not be successful, why they may not be rich, why are they not getting where. It's these limiting beliefs. And you know, when I'm talking to people and I hear them speak a particular way, they're like, they're not even conscious. This is why I tell you, they're walking dead. They're not even conscious of the words they're saying to themselves that's holding them in the same spot they are in. Wow. 7 steps to beat emotional baggage. They look like they're shopping and having fun.
Yes. Yes. I mean, but that's how we live life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We just pick up and we move on. And that's despite the fact of what bags, like they're shopping, what bags we're carrying with us. Because some of those bags could be debt, could be low self-esteem, could be a lack of self-respect. Yeah. But we cover it up with daily living and we move on. Yeah. 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 And we take it in the house. We you know, it take residence. It becomes part of our daily lives and we don't even know. Wow. Wow. And we take it into relationships and we take it into generations. We have to break that. We have to break that. 7 simple steps. So how can they get access to this book? Do they buy it from your website here or? Well, the 7 Simple Steps ebook is a free download that they can download. Yes, that they can download from the website. And family is not everything. Because once you click that, it will take you to a different page, which takes you to a page where you can download it in a number of versions: the PDF version, the EPUB version, the MOBI version. Then the Family is Not Everything book is available on Amazon and at Barnes and Nobles. Oh, fabulous! Family is Not Everything. I think that's a great title. Family is not everything, because you know normally we say family is everything. Yes. Yeah, but no, family is not everything. Tell us a bit about your services. So you offer coaching to help persons, because you were mentioning a client a while ago. Yes. With the 7 Simple Steps book, I can help people walk through each one of those steps. And in that package, there's there's 8 classes. The price depends on whether or not they want them individually or in a group. But I walk them through the reading, the activities, the affirmations, and the techniques. And then we review after each one of those activities before we move on to the next one. See, you look like a little doll here. You just need to be packaged. I'm telling you, you look like one of those dolls in a store. So you can subscribe to Anita's live shout outs. What is that? Is that your podcast? Well, the describe to the live shout outs is when I send out various emails or announcements.
Okay.
So that helps you get onto the list to be able to receive those emails and those shout outs from me.
Okay. So it's a way to connect with you.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. And I think I clicked on the 7-step method. So this is where they can book a call time with you. And this is free, I think, is it?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Great. And you basically outline over the 8 weeks what is going to be happening.
Yes.
So they have a checklist and a reference, of course, some milestones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. And I want to see your podcast. Let's see what's happening here. See, I'm going through your website.
See?
Yeah. We're getting to know this little doll. So here we are, podcast archives. Yes, it's going to take a little time for this thing to... Oh, you're with Smart Podcast Player. Yes, that's with John Lee Dumas. Nice. Yes, I like his app. This is nice. Very good. So people can listen to your episodes. And you've been doing this for how long?
For 2 years.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great way to get the word out there. Yeah. Yeah. And people can see the other episodes and scroll down. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let me go back. Where do I go? Great. All right. And you have a TV episode?
Yes.
What is going on with this little doll, Anita Washington?
I host a local.
What happened there? Something happened there.
It should reload. I'm not sure why it doesn't click in the very first time. But I host a local television show here in the DC area. You can actually go to That's Anita Live. .com.
Oh, I can't spell that, eh? Anita Live.
/YouTube. That will take people directly to my YouTube channel. All of the episodes are also on the YouTube channel.
I'm making sure I could spell. This is going live. Hold on, that's Anita Live. Let's see what's happening here. Yay! Here you are. Cute as ever.
The interviews that I pulled together on That Anita Live TV, just for you, are relevant and resourceful stories from real women living relentless lives.
Yeah, well, that sums it up. That sums it up right there. So great. So these are your show interviews. Beautiful.
Right. Once they air here in the DC area, then I put them onto the YouTube channel and onto my website.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
The latest episodes, I guess if you go back to click the very first tab that you have.
This one?
Yes. Scroll down. The latest episodes are always on my on my website.
Yeah. How to recover when a breakup breaks you. Listen, that's for you to come back on this show to talk about. When a breakup breaks you. I've never heard of that. When a breakup breaks you.
Well, that young lady there, Chanel, she went through a breakup, and because of that breakup and some other things that were going on in her life at the time, she actually took a drug overdose.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Listen. This thing comes back. Anita, to self-love. You know, all what we're saying comes back to self-love. I've seen a lot of women and men. So this is not only about women that hurt themselves. We are our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Because we don't love ourselves. And I'm meeting people every day that are self-sacrificial. We are trained and programmed to give, because that is how our value is determined. Give, and let people take. So our cup is always empty. There's nothing to give back to ourselves. They are not giving us, you know. They are taking, and we are giving. So your cup is constantly empty. There's nothing to pour back into you. And then we catch up on ourselves 30, 40 years later. You're in your 40s, 50s. How many marriages after? Broken relationships, you know, with friends, with spouse, with girlfriend, with family. And you catch yourself at some point. And sometimes some people think, Oh my God, I'm in my 50s and I'm alone. I have nobody. What will people think? You know, you go through another sort of disastrous cycle thinking, you know, I have nobody. What would society think? My goodness, it's like a constant struggle, but you have to catch yourself and hold on to yourself and just do you and realize, who am I really living for, Anita? Who am I really living for? Am I living for everybody else? Or should I live just for me? It doesn't matter what
anybody. The fact that we're living longer, it's never too late to make that decision. Because as we said earlier, you don't know how long you're going to be here.
Yeah. So make the decision now. You could be in your 60s or 70s. Make the decision now. I was talking to a friend of mine because I do dancing, Latin and ballroom dancing. That's my passion. And there's this lady I'm talking to. She's 68. She says, Corinne, I'm 68, but the lady looking fabulous. And she loves dancing. She has happy feet. And she dances well. And she tells me I dance well as well, and she's like, Corinne, I just cannot stay home. I just have to be out. And her kids are worried, that she's out and doing stuff. And I'm like, really? Really? Girl, you do your thing, you do you. You do you. You don't have any young kids, no whatever. You just do you.
And we can't make decisions based on fear.
No. So, I say that to say she's 68. There are people who are in their 70s and feeling that they are alone or lonely, which is, different things. Loneliness, lonely, feeling alone. You enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Leave the past behind. Family is not everything. Follow the 7-step method. Get the book. Do a coaching call with Anita. She offers a free call, for you to decide if you can work together. It wouldn't hurt to get the book. How much is the book, by the way, Anita?
The ebook is $4.99 and the paperback is $15.95.
Right, and that's for the families, not everything.
Right,
because the other one, the 7 steps, is for free or freedom.
It's free, yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, Anita has so many YouTube videos. You can listen to that to learn, take notes. Reach out to her. Reach out to Anita. How can people reach you, Anita?
They can reach me by logging into, set up one of those discovery calls and getting directly onto my calendar.
Beautiful. And I'm sure it's a contact button.
Like I said, they can find me on social media. All of my handles, whether it's a Facebook page, Instagram, or Twitter, is that Anita Live. Yeah.
Pretty simple. It's consistent, so you can't forget it.
Right.
Oh my goodness, Anita, I'm sure we went over time. I wasn't checking. But when you're having a wonderful conversation, and this is my show, so I could do whatever I want. So, I could do whatever I want. And it's all about doing what you want. Yeah, it's all about doing what you want. And I like giving my listeners and watchers really good value. When they listen to this, they must say, wow, they mustn't even feel the time go by. Yeah. They mustn't feel the time go by. And, I always say, even if it's one thing that you can take from each of my episodes that can help a life, somebody, that is all I want. To impact one life, is significant for me. I am happy with that. I'm happy with that. Thank you so much, Anita, for being on Between the Lines, sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, being vulnerable, being single and staying single. Yeah. Girl, do you. And don't make anybody, including me, encourage you to do anything otherwise. You do.
Don't worry.
Oh my God, she's not easy. She's saying, don't worry, I'm not taking you on, Corinne. You can go on with your married self.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go on. I'll come to the wedding and support you.
Yeah. Bring you a wonderful gift.
Yeah. But I'm doing me. I'm good over here. Yeah, don't be surprised I join you over on that side. Don't be surprised. But girl, you just do you, live your best life. Live your best life and keep trying to empower others, to learn from your experience. Because if we don't have the test, we don't have the testimonies, and there's a reason why it came to us as a test. It didn't come to me in that particular way as a test. It came to me differently. It might come to Sharon differently. It might come to John differently.
Right.
But each one of us has a story to share and a life to change. Yeah. So thank you so much, Anita, again for being on Between the Lines. It's been a pleasure having you.